Welcome to Confessions of a Hopeless Romantic.
I'm Kirsten.
And I'm Shelly, and we are speaking to you from Hopeless Romantic Books here in Toronto, the all pink, all romance bookstore.
Yeah, it's like a bubblegum bubble popped in here.
Yes.
And that's the vibe.
Yep. It's giving Sabrina Carpenter house tour.
Yes. The original inspo
Mhm.
was if Sabrina Carpenter lived in a Barbie dream house.
Oh, love.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we hit the nail on the head. But if you haven't seen us before, Kirsten is the owner of the store. I'm just the lowly manager. But it's funny. We actually, Kirsten opened the store with her sister Serena, who we love and adore. But she lives up north in northern Ontario. And it's funny. So people know that it's a sister owned bookstore. So sometimes people will be like, I love your store, like you and your sister.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, no, it's not me.
Or people will like assume Shelly's the owner.
Yeah.
And just like, yeah, like I don't want to deal with it. So you're right.
I actually got recognized at a restaurant we were eating at, and someone came up to me and was like, "Oh my god, you're from that bookstore!" And I was like, "Yeah." Like, Kirsten was right there.
Yeah, and Shelly's like, oh, and that's the owner, Kirsten. And you're like, oh, nice.
Yeah. So I think last update we were talking about how like it's sunny and it's so nice out, and now it's like cold again. Like it's back to March weather. It's freezing.
It's rainy and sad.
Yeah.
I mean, today there's actually a lot of sun today. But
Yes.
It's like -7.
Yeah, I know. It was so cold. I was like, the wind was hitting my face as I was walking, and I was like, ugh. But when it's cold, it means we have time to read because nobody wants to go out. So hopefully, we'll catch up on our reading. I'm pretty excited. I'm going to a cottage this week, so I'm like gonna catch up on my reading. I will try to film like some reading vlogs from there. So stay tuned for that. But
you will finish your book.
Yeah, I'll finish my books. But yes, I'll let Kirsten go first because I'm curious what she's been up to.
Yes. So last episode, I was talking about how I was in the Plated Prisoner series. I am still there. They are thick books, guys. Like it's a 6-book series, book 5 and book 6. They are thick girlies. So I'm still stuck there. Good news is I finished book 5, so Gold, and now I am about 60% of the way through the 6th book, the final one, Gold Finch. Warning is skip this part if you don't want some spoilers, because there's no way to talk about this without giving it those spoilers. So in Gold, I would say I think it's a theme in a lot of fantasy books where they're huge books and you're like, well, this could have been one book.
Your mic's dead.
Okay. Oops. So yes, like I was saying, in a lot of fantasy books, they tend to have like really thick books where you're like, these definitely could have been one book. And I kind of feel that way about these as well. I mean, I think that's a bit of a theme in the Plated Prisoners, is that, like I said before, it's sometimes slow but not boring. I don't want to get those mixed up because I never felt bored reading it, but a lot of the story is slow because the writer really goes into like almost every second, like you're like living the day with the characters, like start to finish kind of thing. Yeah. So I will say in Gold, a lot of it was like, so one of the main guy and the main girly are like separated. Okay. So I think I kind of left off with that in the last as well. So the one before this, the main female character does get like shot into another realm. Oh yeah. And the like her partner, the main guy, is like, so now they're like separated. And his whole journey is like, how the fuck do I get back to her? Yeah. And so he knows where she is in the sense of like, they know of this other realm. They just don't know how to get there, like how to connect it anymore. Yeah. Because it was sort of a bit of like an accident of him like sending her there. Yeah. So he's like, shit, I got to get back to her. Mm-hmm. But he can no longer use his magic. Like it's like kind of like the well has run dry in that sense. Oh. Like he can't get there. So instead, he's like, well, I'm just going to go on this massive rampage of revenge of everybody who has ever wronged her.
Oh, wow.
Love. Like it was so good. It was so like satisfying to see like, oh man, like all these people are like reaping what they sow kind of thing. Like, so satisfying. However, the female character who's now in like lost in the other realm, I was a little bit like, girly, you got to pick up the pace a little bit. Like, a lot of it was just her like walking around this other realm, like looking up at the sky, being like, how do I get back to him? And it's like, not with that attitude. You gotta get going. I was also a little bit sad about my favorite couple, Osric and Rissa. So again, sorry, spoilers. But so the last book leaves off with Rissa being like stabbed and on like the brink of death. The entire book is her like remaining on her deathbed. I was like, no, no, no. I need her to wake up and for her man to be like super happy. And then they like, exactly. Like, I was like waiting for that. But like the entire book is her like on her deathbed. I was like, no. However, the side character that I spoke about before, who was like in her dumb bitch era, has come out of it. I was like, that is great because she was a very unlikable character. And I actually really like unlikable characters. Like, I feel like I can often see like the relatable side of them. And I like to see that. And I also just like the conflict that it makes in books around like, you know, not everybody needs to be likable. And I really like that. So for her, I was actually like happy to see how her character developed a little bit more into like the redeemable side, but also in a way that like made sense. Yeah. That she wasn't just a total bitch and then like one day wakes up and you're like, how did we even get here? Like you just like, it was a very like natural sort of development that made sense for like her traumas. Yeah. And I do think the writer like Raven Kennedy does a really good job of that overall in her books. Like she really does a great job of like making you understand a lot of the like trauma and where these characters are coming from, so that it does make sense. Their actions do really make sense. So I really liked that for Melina, who's that side character. She really sort of grew in a way that did make sense for her. Yeah. And she finds a love interest who I'm also like, love. He's like a shadow daddy, assassin, like shadow jumper kind of thing. So yeah, I was really like, nice to see her come into her own. Yeah. So now I am about 60% of the way through Goldfinch. And it is starting to wrap up a little bit. Like I can kind of see where it's going, where it's going to end. However, I have to say, I was like, the main couple, like they kind of lost me in the sense of like, they become fated mates, which like you do see some like hints along the way of that happening. Like I kind of felt like I clocked it. Even like the first time they're like meeting, it's like, oh, I can see his aura and I like can never see that about anybody else or whatever. And you're just like, if you read a lot of like romance, you're like clocked that. So he like leaves his realm, right, to go and like save her in the other realm, while there's like this Fae invasion in the original realm. And I'm just like, but you are the only Fae in this realm with this massive, huge power to help them. And you're just like, now's the time to peace out. Now's the time to go. Love that he's down bad for his woman and he's going to go get her. But also, why are you guys in a secret cabin consummating your mate bond for 2 days while this is happening?
This reminds me actually of a hot take I saw online where an author, not this author, but Autumn Woods, she posted like someone had DM'd her with their negative review, which first of all, like don't do that. It's a little gross. But they said they found it, they didn't like that the main guy has like a sibling who's really young and he kind of like left the main character for a little bit to take care of this much younger sibling. And the reader was like, oh, I hate that because like I want my man to be like down bad for the girl, that he like abandons everything. And so it's funny because like in your story you're like he was down bad too much, but for some people that's the appropriate level of down bad, abandon everything to take care of the one
and like appreciate that. Yeah, the phone is ringing. But yeah, like I totally agree around like love that he was down bad for her and that he was like, I'm gonna fuck up anybody who even comes in my way. Of now that I found a way to get to her and save her, I'm going to her. Like love that. But also maybe you don't need 2 days of like, you know, hunkering down in the cabin, but just like, you know, like go save her. Yeah. Explain the situation. This is very serious. Everybody in our realm is about to die. Yeah. Let's put a pin in this. Let's go save them. Yeah. You don't need 2 days. You know, I was just like, okay, wrap it up. But no. Overall, Love. Very good, like, romantasy. You know, sometimes romantasy, it can be like, and that it's a good thing too. Like, love that it's sort of like, we don't read romance necessarily for the surprises, right? We know, you know, the main tropes, and that's why we love it and we like rinse and repeat. But I did find there was still enough like originality in it that it didn't feel like just like, you know, kind of a throwaway, here's a huge series for us to like get book talk famous. It did feel really like, I feel like, I will say, unfortunately, a friend of mine did spoil it for me a little bit. It was my fault. I like asked her to because I was like, I must know. But so for those who have read it, I really thought that Emily, which is like Oren's new friend that she meets in this new realm, and an old friend, Lou, I thought they were gonna get together. Like, as when I was reading this, I was like, oh my god, they're like, they have such the same vibe. And then my friend told me like, no, it doesn't happen, unfortunately. And I will say I was like a little like sad to hear that there's no like queer representation at all in it. So I was like, that's gonna be my like fanfic ship kind of thing. Is like Lou and Emily. I gotta like see. I gotta look on like AO3 and Wattpad and see if I can find some fanfic for that. But yeah, so that's where I'm at. I think I'm waiting. I'm 60% of the way through, so I'm like, I know kind of like it's starting to wrap up. I can like see where it's gonna go. I'm interested to see if there is gonna be sort of like a last minute twist, or if it is just gonna sort of like pan out how I think it's going to. I'm usually pretty good at like finding sort of the clues and like not being too surprised, but because there's still 40% left, I'm like, you know, there's time. So I'm not sure.
That's fair. And I guess I'm sad to hear about the queer representation too. Like, damn. Guess I won't be adding it to my list. I'm joking, but I probably will at some point. I need to get better at romantasy. But I'm still in my Akatar era. So last time we spoke, I was reading A Court of Mist and Fury, which I finished in like about a week or so, which I was pretty proud of myself. And now I'm actually 40% into A Court of Wings and Ruin. So I'm still on my Akatar grind, I guess. I'll probably be reading it for the next like one or two episodes, but I am trying to take a break because I need to read Starship by Cat Sebastian, which I talked about last time. I'm very, very excited about it. I actually watched an influencer interview BK Borison for BookCon, and they asked her like which is her favorite romance this year, and she said Starship, and that Cat Sebastian is her like desert island author. And I was like, oh my god, guys, I have the same taste as BK Borison. That's how you know I'm a trendsetter. So I am very, very, very excited about that. But Akawar, if you haven't read Akatar yet, I was skeptical going into it, but I wanted to read it for Calamine. I'm very happy I did. I'm enjoying it. My friends are all surprised at how fast I'm reading it. They're like, "Oh my god, you haven't read anything in a while, and you're like breezing through this." So I totally like understand where a lot of our customers are like, "Oh, I Akatar is what got me into reading again." Like I totally like relate to them in that way. So like that makes me happy. But 40% in. Loved Akamath. The action part of it was amazing. Where we left off Nakamath, we enter Akawar, where Feyre's in her like spy era. There was like the whole bit with the cauldron. I won't say too much about it, but basically like some characters go into the cauldron and they get powers. But of course, we kind of start to see that there's a cost to these powers, that it's not always like hunky dory. So I was talking about it with Kirsten, and I was asking her this morning, I was like, would you go into the cauldron?
Okay, so yes, obviously. Like, yes. Short answer, yes. However, I will say, like, do I see the queens go in first? Because they don't come out great.
True.
So, like, if I seen them go in and come out the way they did, I would be like, no, thanks.
Yeah.
However, if I did not see that and know that,
Yeah.
of course, I'm going in. I'm like diving.
Yes.
You know, I'm like, no problem. Turn up the side, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Like, give it extra magic.
Well, it's funny because I think part of it is like some of it has to do with your mental resilience. And I'm like, am I that mentally resilient to face the cauldron and win? I feel like probably. Like I could do it. But who knows? Who knows what I'd see in there? But yes, I think if the answer is no magic or yes magic, take the magic. So so that's where I am in Akawar. The beginning was really fast paced for me. It kind of like there was some part of the plot that dragged. I felt it was starting to drag of just like every day they're training for this like war, and then she's training again, she's using her wings again, like, you know, like training. I was like, okay, I get it, you got to work hard, girl. So there's always sometimes that part in romantasy where like the plot drags a little bit because of that. But I was on the streetcar reading on the way in today, and like I got to a part where there's like finally like action, like battles happening, like there's people in her kingdom that shouldn't be there. And I was like gasping. I was like, oh my god, I did not expect that. So the plot is starting to pick up a bit, for which I am happy about. So I'm hoping to finish it, and then I'll read Starship. I'll read A Court of Frost and Starlight, and then I'll hop into Nesta's book. So with the next one. So I'm happy at least I'll be finishing that kind of story arc, and then I'll be ready for Akatar 6.
And like at least you'll be mostly caught up, like with at least like up to Aqua War for Kellen Mai.
I know.
So you won't have too many spoilers except for Nesta's book. But I also feel like with Nesta's book, like you can't work in the store and not hear spoilers about Akatar. And at least Nesta's book, I do find like for Farah, she has 3 of them, right? So it's like there's more kind of like potential spoilers for those books than there are for like the one of Nesta. And so many theories are coming out still around like the next books. So I feel like you at least, you know, will be mostly caught up and out of the danger zone.
Yes. Which is good because I'm very curious about the love interest for Nesta. And I'm like, I'm waiting. And like I know it's Cassian. Okay. Like I know that. Yeah, Kirsten's like, you don't know? I'm like, no, I know. But I'm like, so I'm reading every interaction, like 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 their hand lingers. She's like looking at him. I'm like, like Feyre, like move it on, report. You gotta report. And then yeah, there was a really cute part where Feyre's trying to set up like Elaine and Lucian, and Rhysand is like leave them alone, don't play matchmaker. I'm like, no, play matchmaker. That's like the one thing I care about. I'm like, forget this dumb war.
So what are your thoughts about where you are right now? So it's like Elaine and Lucian. Azriel, maybe more. I can't quite remember where you are with like the history of Mor and Azriel, what they've shared. But yeah, what are your thoughts on those two?
Okay. My thoughts are, so where I am in the book, Lucian and Elaine have the mate bond, but they've already kind of like Farah's already been told like you kind of don't have to listen to it, and it's kind of like so fortunate that her and Rhys actually love each other and they're mated. It's just kind of like a emotional tug, but it won't really like you won't be forced to like be with your mate if you don't want to be, which I can respect sort of like their kingdom stance on that. So where I am, it's like Azriel is like really nice to Elaine, like love. And then Lucian is like trying to get close to Elaine, but it's like not working. But he seems to like at least he's not like going bonkers yet. He kind of went bonkers like one time, but it was only like at the very like beginning. So like now it's almost like for me, I find it like when I'm on my period and I'm like I'm not myself. I just like act irrationally. Like that was me over the weekend. I was just getting annoyed by all these little things and I was like, why am I being annoyed? And then it clocked in. So I'm almost like it's almost kind of like that. Where like you act irrationally because it's almost like a hormonal imbalance. That's how I'm viewing that's how I view the beta bond thing. So I'm like fine if like they don't end up together. I guess like Elaine and Lucian, but I do like that Azriel's really nice to her, but I feel like Azriel's just like he gives me just king vibes. Like I just love him. He's just like so polite. Like he's just a good guy right now, at least. I mean, like other than the fact that he's like a deadly assassin. If you ignore that part, he's like king. So so I like him. So I just want him to be with someone who wants him. That's where my heart is. Like he just wants more so bad. But like I feel like if she wanted him, like she should have made a move on earlier. So it's probably like not she probably like doesn't like him in that way. And it's fine. But my heart hurts for him. I want you know how like he's yearning for her? I want like someone to yearn for him, you know? That's what I want. So those are my thoughts on those two couples.
I like so need you to catch up because I just like have so much to say. I can't because you're not there yet. But I just like my take is like controversial, I think. I do think when it comes to like Elaine and Lucian and Azriel, like because it doesn't wrap up by the end of Nesta's book. So there's still a lot of like theories and like opinions out there, and I think like it is definitely one of those like polarizing things in Akatar, and like I know mine is like the unpopular opinion. But I just need you to get there because we need to talk about it. Like I need to. I don't know. It's one of those things. It's like all these book girlies know. Like you can fucking talk about this for hours, forever, and I'm just like, I need it, Rachel.
Give it to me, Rachel. Okay, speaking of give it to me, Rachel. Rachel Reed was at BookCon this weekend,
Yes.
and I need you to know, love like her panel, like very excited for Unrivaled. I didn't watch too much, like I didn't watch the whole panel, or I've only seen a few like things out there. But I think she said this either at BookCon or like in an interview on Entertainment Weekly. But apparently, Unrivaled will give us more Harris and Troy, which is the couple from Role Model, which makes sense because Troy plays on the same team as Ilya. And I don't know why it didn't clock for me, but when I read that, I was like, a part of my soul lifted. My spirits were lifted. I'm like, give it to me, Rachel. Like, Ilya and Shane, like, love, but I'm like, this is their third book. Like, I cannot wait to see what happens for them. But, like, that idea that we'll get more Troy and Harris, like, lit a fire in me. Like, I am so ready. So, if you have not read Role Model yet by Rachel Reed, you need to. Like, I fear you need to, Kearston. Like, that's my ACOTAR for you. Yeah. That's my ACOTAR. Okay. I'm reading ACOTAR now. Like, repay the favor.
I will. My goal is to finish this, and then I will bump it up the TBR. I will do that.
Thank you. That is the correct response. So should we talk about what's like other books are on our radar? Like what is added to the TBR? Because we're both kind of close to like finishing the series, or at least putting like a pause on it. So next time we meet, we should be able to talk about something else.
Yeah, the goal can be to get out of our series jail for next time. Like I love being in a good series. Like it gives you that feeling of like I don't want to leave this world, but there's also like such a sense of like, okay, I'm done. Like I can do something else. Yes, exactly. Like there's a kind of a renewal, or like you have a little bit of like excitement of like, okay, the next thing, but you're like sad to leave your world. Yeah. Okay, so what I am going to recommend / I'm excited for, so Sadie Kincaid, Joey. I am not a dark romance girly. It's one of the things that I'm like, okay, I actually need to add more onto my TBR, so that I can talk about it a little bit more in the store. And honestly, it's not because I'm not like interested in it. It's just like I've always been a bit more of like romantasy, and then I like need a palette cleanser with a contemporary. So my goal is to actually read more dark romance because I do think I would love it. So I am actually gonna shamelessly plug this one because I accidentally ordered 50 copies to the store, which is not a bad thing. We love Sadie Kincaid here at HRB. So I am not worried at all. We know that these are top sellers. Meg is always singing their praise here. However, if you are looking for a good mafia romance, this will do it. And the sprayed edges on it are just like so gorgeous.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. Like dark romance, I can't do like dark where it's like gory. Like that element I can't do. But like I love a good like mafia romance. Like he's like overprotective, like that kind of vibe I can do, or like dark I can do where like he kills people. But as long as like I don't see it, I'm fine. There's a few I read where it's like really like detailed like description, but it's kind of like, okay, it's mafia, like I can get over it. So those are fun. Or just like the detail of like they cut off the arm or like the hand and then the fingers because he touched the wife. I'm like, love. But I can't do like gore. Like Butcher and Blackbird by Bryn Weaver, I want to read so bad. Like I want to read it so bad, but then when I see some of the reviews or like people say like it, like I think I'm too squeamish for that kind of stuff, like the intestine stuff, like can't do. But yes, so I'm gonna recommend more romantasy because I'm in my romantasy era. And actually, I read Bridge Kingdom before I read ACOTAR, and I really enjoyed it. Like, I really want to continue the series. So once Calamai ends and I'm caught up, you might see me like talk about this one and catch up to it. But I've been recommending it at the store like bonkers because we are gonna host Danielle Jensen, May Cortland, and Nisha J. Tully on May 8th for a romantasy event. We have very limited ticket sales. It might honestly might even be sold out by the time you watch this video. But I'm very, very excited about it. This is one of the ones that I was like, okay, I'm going on the subway. Let me take a break from like my hardcore smut. Like, let me like read something with a plot. and I opened it on a whim, and just the plot gets you from page one. It's so fast paced, like the main character, super um like relatable and like strong in a way that I really enjoy. Very action heavy, but also romance heavy, especially where there's like an arranged marriage element. And sometimes at those you find it's like a slow burn, but there's not really any of that here, which I love. Like I love a fast burn. So I'm very much enjoying it.
The next book that I am recommending is A Pack for Spring by Amelia Emerson. This is actually part of like a interconnected standalone series, also with another author, Eliana Lee. So it's all kind of like the seasonal. So this one is a pack for spring, but there is a pack for autumn and a pack for winter. Those are already out. And a pack for summer is coming. So it is a very spicy why choose. All of them are, but they are not dark. So they are contemporary and set sort of in the world of like Omega verse, but they are not romantasy. So like usually Omega verse is like werewolves, but these are like strictly contemporary, and they just sort of like riff off of like the Omega verse sort of structure of how like relationships are built. So very spicy, good for people who definitely want more of like contemporary cozy, but want spicy. Because a lot of times, you know, spicy usually means more dark, things like mafia romances, or maybe more morally gray characters, sometimes even just like dark romantasy. But these ones are set in the cozy verse. That's what they're called, the cozy verse universe. So it's still going to be lighthearted, very fun, contemporary, but very spicy. So if that is what you're looking for, you still want sort of rom-com upbeat, but with a lot of spice, these are going to be for you.
And actually, Amelia Emerson writes really good mafia romance as well. I think it might be under a different pseudonym, but it's the same author. I love her stuff. It's so good. So when we get those in, I think I place them on order. I'm trying to order them. It's called His Tesoro. So good. When we get those in, you will see me selling those. But in the meantime, I'm sticking to my romantasy era, and I'm gonna try A Deal with the Elf King. Super excited about it. This one, it's another arranged marriage type. I don't know. I'm just like in my arranged marriage era. I've never left. I've always been there, but I just like love a forced proximity. I think like I just love the characters are forced to love each other and then they will. Like I don't know. It's just so satisfying to me. I think that's probably why I kind of like. I like the fated mates thing when I read about it in Akatar, even though it's like something I don't read a lot of. Kirsten was like, "This is in every Fae book," and I was like, "Is it?" I just like am ignorant and I didn't know. So I'm about to find a new sub trope that I love. So I'm very excited about this one. And actually, what I thought was so interesting is when I was holding up the Bridge Kingdom, I saw that the author of Deal with an Elf King blurbed Bridge Kingdom like on the back. So it says like, "Oh, Bridge Kingdom is heart-pounding romance and intense action wrapped in a spellbinding world," which is accurate. I was hooked from the first page. Also accurate. So I have the same taste as Elise Kova. But yeah, so like it was her blurb at the back. So I was like, "Oh, they're like twinsies. Yeah, they're like siblings." So like they kind of go together.
Yeah, I definitely think like with arranged marriage, there's something like charming about like choosing to love each other at the end of it. Whereas, you know, things like fated mates, it's like, well, you know, it was chosen for you, and like the concept of soulmates, whereas it gives a little bit of charm of like we might have been forced to be together, but at the end we are choosing to love each other.
For this week's, I guess, Confessions of a Hopeless Romantic.
That's it. Let us know in the comments what you're reading. Have you read any of these books? Are you excited? Let us know what you think of Shelly's Akatar journey. What are your takes on it? Maybe nothing with spoilers yet. We got to get Shelly caught up, and then we'll be ready to hear all the theories.